Hello everyone, welcome to Toronto. This is Fort York. This is a nice park. That was once a cemetery for the soldiers and the families of the people stationed here. And here are some of the gravestones that they managed to save. And there's a highway up there that's not moving too fast because parts of it are closed for the next 3 years or something like that. This is all a brand new part of Toronto. This did not exist a little while ago. A few years ago, all these buildings are brand spanking new. A couple of years ago when it was finished and you were able to walk around down here, I kind of was wondering where I was. I said, where am I? Anyway, so today's walk, I am going to try to get to St. Lawrence Market. I will try and find a fun way to do that. Fort York is over there. It was when this was Muddy York. It was a fort. So basically, it was involved in the War of 1812. Like, I mean, there was galleons and ships shooting at each other right there. This was the water line for the lake. So the fort was sitting right on the edge of the lake. It looks so pastoral, and then a train goes by. Hi, George. Welcome to Old Toronto, which is over there, the original fort, where we fought the Americans in the War of 1812, and I think they probably kicked our ass. I don't know if we're still here. Guys kicked our asses. Actually, I'm not sure. The fort's still there, so I guess they didn't kick it too badly. And then all this is all new Toronto. I was saying all this is new. These are all brand new. This used to be nothing. It was just the fort. So I have to get to King Street. It is adventure time. I know I should schedule these better. Be a little more grown up about it. Train. These are called GO trains, which is not completely self-evident by the fact that it says GO on it. There's a new engine. Our famous double-decker, weirdly shaped commuter trains. This was a river at one point called the Garrison Creek. It feels cold when you walk into it, and it went around the side of the fort, which is over there. Here comes a Via train. The Via trains that's a national company. Let's wave to the guy. Trains that go across, that one's not going across Canada, but it's a federal it's a federal company. The green and white ones are our local commuter trains. But that's a passenger train. But you have the same trains in San Diego. They were probably all built by Bombardier. Lots of the New York subways, they're all built by a Canadian company called Bombardier. Or some really weird people call it Bombardier. Oh, that Bombardier company. I don't know where they ever got Bombardier out of Bombardier. Bombardier started with snowmobiles. That was their thing. And then they moved into trains. There's some old buildings over there. And the mighty CN Tower. Has a factory in the States. And they had the planes too, the little Dash 8s, those Q 800s and 400s. They also had the CRJ planes, and those got sold to Mitsubishi. So now they're Mitsubishi planes. All those little hoppers. Delta has so many of them. They're comfy. When you go this way. I haven't been this way. I need to get out to that street over there. I guess when it rains, you can relive muddy York by walking on this path. I think they're going to be fancying this up. Or someone doing yoga. Doing a half locust. How do I know that? Because I know that.
Who's in a wheelchair? How she was going to get to the airport.
Whoa, this path is dangerous. It's not. Oh, I see. It's pretty good to Niagara. Nice. I say hi to dogs. That's what I do. This is a very impressive wall. Very viney wall. There was actually a slaughterhouse here forever. Forever and ever. City works for now until they start building condos here. There's still some little houses. That's a very odd neighborhood. This is like all the small neighborhoods like mine. It's getting cased in. It's getting enclosed by these, surrounded by all these big buildings. Oh, it smelled horrible everywhere. Slaughterhouse, where was the slaughterhouse? It was in here. You actually see the old cobblestones, like it was here forever. I mean, this was all a slaughterhouse. And it was really sad because they would truck the pigs in from the country to sitting on the highway and everything. Anyway, this was no longer the place to slaughter pigs, but no, like slaughtering day was like Tuesday or something like that. And I could smell it at my place. And I'm probably a 20-minute walk away from here. And what was fun was that I think when all these condos went up, the realtors all said, oh, that place is closing down in 6 months, and then it did not. There's Old York Tavern. That place is cute. All the lilacs are coming out. Now it smells nice here, but yeah, it really stank. It smelled, George, it smelled so bad. Like, so bad. And like I said, I didn't even live here. I can't even imagine living in these places. But when these places were built, it probably was all slaughterhouses. So I think everyone who lived here knew what they were in for. You know, I mean, you can't. That was the thing. Toronto was. It's called Hogtown. That's another name for Toronto. Is Hogtown, and it was because we slaughtered pigs, lots of pigs. It was a big industry, and yeah. So anyone, probably all the people who originally owned these or built these houses worked there. It's only the new, you know, all these new buildings. Well, I think it's been closed since these buildings have been built. There's another interesting building coming up here, which I thought they were going to demolish. This building looks cool. Would you love to have this as an office space? I would love that. Yeah, all these houses are survivors. I don't know for how long. I don't know if eventually they'll get bought out. Oh, look at this. How cute is that? Hashtag cottagecore. Anyway, they're all in good shape. They're not run down. Except maybe for whatever that thing is. Here's a cute building. Look, you have your matching VW bus to go with your building. I would love to live in a place like that. That is so cute. I'm all about the cute. It's cute, I like it. So anyway, this building here is called the Coffin Factory, because they used to make coffins. And everyone, it was like artists lived in there. It was a loft space. There were amazing parties, like legendary parties. But then they said it was too dangerous and whatever, so that everyone got kicked out. And the last night it was open was a party, a crazy party. The whole building was one big party. And then, well, I'm impressed that they kept all the outside of it. Oh, I hate these. Poor kitty. Long. Yeah, my allergies too. I think everyone's like dying. But yes, this is where they made coffins, and then it became a loft. Oh, this poor little, what's his name? Oolong. Okay, anyone in Toronto around the Coffin Factory on Niagara Street see a black cat? There you go, Oolong. The old entrance. I guess they're gonna do something nice with this. Anyway, I'm really happy that I thought that they were knocking down the whole thing. Those are nice too. And here you have the nice Victorian houses. I like these houses too. They kind of look old, but they look new and they're cool and they're. This is kind of what my house is, but if they got renovated with an extra floor on the top, which could be fun. Excuse me while I walk into this tree. Ooh. That's a cute car, no? A GT3 Porsche. Oh, this house is nice. I like the gray with the black and the gold. That's really pretty. And here's kind of a basic Toronto house with the red brick and the white. It was all these bricks were made here, and then someone renovated a house on my street, and they wanted to make it have this look. They actually had to get the white bricks from England because we can't make them here anymore. Because the brickworks where they were made it's now a park, a very nice park. Bathurst Street. There was an old cool Sherwin-Williams building. It used to be here, and it was the animation studio where my husband worked, and his office was about right there. I'd come to get him on my motorcycle and I would honk, waiting at this light. That building's long gone now, along with a few other buildings along here. But yeah, this was warehouses and basically kind of nothing.
Hi.
There's a nice bike, BMW. You just know whoever owns that has a suit to match. Here you go, if you want to scan the code. These places, ooh, I wonder how much it would be. Probably like 6,000 a month at least. I smell weed. It's good that it's legal and people don't get arrested for it, but I really don't like the smell. This is also an old cemetery. I guess if I'd set this walk up better, I could have had the pictures of, I mean, it was defunct in the late 1800s. And there's pictures in here of the 1920s with cows munching the grass amongst the gravestones. But like at the beginning of the walk, they saved some of the stones, kind of made a sculpture out of them. But again, under my feet there are bodies, or whatever would be left of bodies that got buried in 1850 or whatever. This part's still here. Sacred to the memory of McKay John Scobie, who departed this life 26 August 1834, aged 18 years. Also saying this cemetery was from 1850, was being generous. Oh, here we go. St. John's Square, the first military burial ground in Toronto. Set apart in 1794. Okay, I was way off at 1850. 1794 by Lieutenant Governor Simcoe. Used for 60 years. Erected by the Canadian Club, 1899. Nope, no time for this. This is a fun street. You can tell it used to be at the other end of the street there's a park. So probably back in Victorian times this was a nice promenade. Probably started here and then you walked. People don't have blinkers. Oh, he had his blinker. Old house. I think the street had a lot of fights because there's a lot of nice buildings, but then, you know, condo developers were like, but I need to make my big condo. That little guy ripped off his sock. I wonder if I can cross here without fatally. Because I want to look at those trees. Wire hanging down, like that's not good. Ooh, look at this. Yeah, you would get covered in pigeon tartar sauce. Ooh, this tree is so pretty. Achoo. All the sakura ones are done, but these guys are all in bloom. That is gorgeous. We had really cold weather. I think that the cold weather made the blooms extra fluffy. Cold nights. I don't know, I haven't seen them this fluffy in a long time. So beautiful. That is really nice. Hi guys. I like this building. And I'm saying that about half the buildings that I see. It's like every original building that you, or older building you see here is hard fought and won to have kept them. Ooh, this looks fun. Cherry's high dive pizza and beer. Can I have all three? This is cute. Hi, little pup. You have a purple tail and ears. This building is very Art Deco, very cool. Tridel is the company that makes the condos. I guess that's their office. This old building, I'm like, wow, it's, but it has the notice in front, the notice that says, we're gonna keep the facade, but we're gonna be putting a condo there. Like that. This building too. I would love to live in a loft in this place. How sexy is that? I think there was one building, I guess it was historical, and then that just makes them more flammable. The historical designation. As soon as a building's slapped with that. But our wonderful provincial government is getting rid of all historical designation, which is just great. I know, like a cool downtown apartment. Like I live in a downtown house, but it's not cool. Like I only had one kid in my life, and my neighbor had four. The lady across the street. That's why I don't like my neighbor. And she was like, "Oh, having only one child is bad." And we were talking to my neighbor who also only had one child. It's like, how can you just blanket state that having one child is bad? Anyway, I digress. This is the well. We're gonna go in here one day. This is like, well done Toronto, well done with the well. The well is very cool. We're gonna do a thing. I have to meet my friend. Well, there's a restaurant called Cafe Select, and when it was on Queen Street, that was the restaurant, same company, the same restaurant. They just had to move here. That's the restaurant I had dinner with Joey Ramone. There, this house. This is the house they tried to burn so many times. But nope. But I have to say, I love the well. I'm still doing a little bit of work on it, but look it up, thewell.to. I have to say, bravo Toronto. Oh wait, here's another Porsche. This is a different kind. Is it a Targa or a Tanga? Sorry, I'm car ignorant. Yeah, safe to say if you lived on this street, Wellington, you'd be in the middle of all the good stuff. But when there's ball games or hockey games, it's really packed down here. Because all the stadium, the sports complexes are all together. This is a crazy intersection. Here's the other end. Back in Victorian times, it would have been like the loop of the promenade. Anyway, there's the well. Well, it's impressive. It's massive. We'll go through there. We'll go shopping. We'll go shopping in the well. I like these townhouses. Terrace Square. I think a lot of them are things, offices, and things like that, but some are residents, but these are leftovers from back in the day. I'd love to live in one of these if it wasn't renovated too much. Yep. 1879 these buildings, it says. Clarence Terrace. Here's the outfit of the J. Little Jane Marple skirt. Vintage baseball jacket, black with gold stars. Bucket hat. Tiny top. Flat shoes. Maybe what I'm trying to say is I want to live a slicker lifestyle. Hello. Take me to your leader. Even it's getting boxed in by condos. I mean, obviously the top part's always gonna stick out, but you used to be able to see the swoop. I mean, it's impressive when you're right at the bottom. Gracefully climbs to the sky. But now a lot of buildings have blocked it.
Yeah, because I don't know what exists, I don't know what its plan is, but I know that's how it's thinking.
Cafe. Looks like a nice cafe. Blue Jays Way and Wellington Street West. It's where we currently are. And there's someone up there chilling, balcony, reading a magazine. Wow, who reads magazines? I don't have creeper shoes. They're actually like the saddest little ballet flats with no support. Like it's basically next to being barefoot. But I like them so much. You know, they're probably ruining my feet. This one has a pair of creeper shoes he never wears. With the demonia ones with the little coffins in the sole. I think I'm gonna fix them up and sell them. But I kind of do want a pair like that, like shoes that have platforms. I have platform boots. But I'm actually going to apply for a job at a movie theater where my friend works. So I want it to look somewhat normal. Although I fail at that constantly. I think I look normal and people go, no, you don't look normal. I can't do normal. Normal is very hard for me. CBC building, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. The CBC has, if you ever want to see what's really going on in Canada, listen to the CBC. They have lots of good documentaries and programming. Like in the evenings they have Indigenous programming. And they have a program called C'est Formidable, and it's the French music. So kind of, and there's an opera one, like kind of everyone, and they have books. So everyone kind of has, which is called, the book one is, there's a religion one called Tapestry, kind of, anyway, it's a really good station. A lot of people say defund the CBC because it's paid for. There's no ads on the CBC because it's paid for by the government. It's a federal thing. And a lot of people who don't like the federal government want to defund the CBC, but I mean, I think it does a great service to small communities. Like a lot of independent radio stations shut down, or they get bought up by big companies who then go and close them. At least the CBC is there. Interesting building. Rush hour traffic. I guess it's the same in every city. It's a mess.
I know. Metro Hall, it's a city building. I go to pay my parking tickets. The occasional time that I actually get one of those. Here's the Ritz-Carlton. Not as nice as the one in Montreal, which is an old building. Bricks and stuff. There's King Street over there.
Here's Roy Thompson Hall. If you're out for an evening at the theatre, you'll be there. Or movies. I saw a TIFF movie. Thanks. I saw a TIFF movie there. I saw the symphony there. So yeah, basically it's home of the Toronto, the TSO, the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. Remember back in the late 80s, all this was a parking lot for this place. There was nothing here. Train down there. We're going to be here for a while. It's just better to walk. I walk from home to go to this place. I didn't want to rely on any form of public transportation. So even all these buildings have notices on them to be modified. I guess that was the zoning limit once upon a time this high, and now it's double that. So even buildings that aren't that old are under threat. I guess Wellington isn't the most exciting street until you go to Beer Town. Maybe I'll be a YouTuber if I start actually advertising that I do these streams. Hey George, me and you, Beer Town. Also, people in Toronto can't really walk on the sidewalks. It's not so bad here, but a lot of it is really people just walk where they want. Or they stop in the middle of the street looking at their phone. I'm like, what's that? These are cool buildings. This all leads to the highway and the train station. That's why there's a lot of people. The train station has like the train that takes you to the airport. All those GO trains, this is where they all end at, down there. Here's a 60s Survivor. Yeah, the other day on Queen Street, and a lady just kept stopping to check her phone. Like meanwhile, I always pull over into like the sides of buildings or off to the side. I'll never just like stop like this and like check my phone. That doesn't make sense to me. But I don't know. People are. Might have to cross. turn right on Red, I don't know, is it different like California versus like San Diego in the cities? Because here you can turn right on Red, and I think that's a thing that should be taken away downtown. Maybe between like these hours, because it just makes chaos. Because people don't let people cross; they're just more worried about making their right-hand turn. So in Montreal, they implemented the right-hand turn on Red, which they never ever had. Because in Montreal, they would just it would wipe out half the population. Notorious jaywalkers, they take it for that now. They really crack down on that in Montreal. But here they have right on Red, for the most part.
Well, it doesn't look like it.
And it's nuts. Like in Quebec, they have it outside of Montreal, but downtown Montreal there's still no right on Red. Here's an attractive old building. Here's our modern. It's like the Seagram's building in New York. The back of the Royal York Hotel. This was the only building you could see in old pictures of like the waterfront in Toronto. Was that guy back there. And now you don't even see it at all. It was kind of like Toronto was nothing, just the Royal York Hotel. These are very mid-century modern and cool. They're like Westmount Square in Montreal. Same architect, I believe. Because the buildings look the same. I could be in Montreal right now walking by Westmount Square. But I wish I was. That's windy, I bet you hear that. You're gonna have to get a mic. But I don't think he's turning anywhere. Now we're at Bay Street. Bay and Wellington. Here's a cool looking restaurant that I've never been to. close. Yeah, like that. Don't have your conversation in the middle of the street. Sidewalk. Another Porsche. One of those hatchbacks in the back Porsches. SUV things. Pretty building. Little hints of what Toronto used to look like. It's fun, suddenly a little Survivor will pop up. Actually, there's lots on here. Lots of older buildings on the street. There's a highway down there that isn't moving at all. The elevated highway. I know it's crazy. I notice people come out of restaurants and they're all in a little group and they continue their conversation, take up the whole sidewalk. Like, I don't see why you can't just, why just instinct to just suddenly be oblivious. I don't know. Let's see what Japan is like when I get there in October. Will I have relief from that kind of behavior? There's a nice little place. I'm thinking of all these places that I want to go to.
She is, but it doesn't seem to help.
It's like all these fancy places, they look nice. I'm like, oh wow, I want to go there. But then when I go there, I'm kind of uncomfortable in them. I'd rather just go to the local bar, like the local pub, where it's casual. Because here, cocktail culture is very big. And we have some really fancy, you know, speakeasy kind of places. And I'm just kind of not comfortable in them. There's the King Edward Hotel. So now we're getting into coolness. There's a live theater that has had 3 names since I've lived here. Well, it was the O'Keefe Center, and then it was the Hummingbird Center, and now it's like whatever business owns it right now. Oh, the St. Lawrence Center for the Performing Arts. Let's go see the cool. Oh, it's not on yet. Hi. Aww.
When you sit,
Thank you. Aww. The little sweetie.
like they'll be shook.
Sorry. Little basset hound.
Oh.
Hey, you. This is fun. It's too bad it's not on yet. All the dogs, and then you have this guy. You kind of think, oh, what's he looking at? And you go up there, and there's 2 birds right over here. There's 2 yellow birds, and he's looking at those. It's very cute. Now we're coming up on our version of the our version of the Flatiron Building. Isn't it a cool fountain? It's really cool when it's going. I know, like I said, I poop on Toronto a lot, but it does have some cool things. Like, I think they did a good job with a lot of this neighborhood. They built co-op buildings. And I guess when you have young families, you can have the basement, and when you go in them, you feel like you're in a house, even though you're in a building. Like it has a little front yard and your own front door. You don't have to go through the lobby. And it has stairs, and yeah, it feels like a house. It's really cool. But St. Lawrence Market that we're coming up on, it was the original city hall, and they built the market around it. And it was right butt up close to the lake. Now you're nowhere near the lake now. Buildings. New buildings, new buildings. We can sit here for a couple seconds. As I'm caught between the legs. That was a coffee shop I liked once upon a time. It's not there anymore. Oh, the lake turned it up. And we have these big trains in the middle of the street to make things more fun. A Hot House Cafe, the first place I ever had pumpkin ravioli. That's delicious. Yeah. Oh, cyclist. Yeah, so the St. Lawrence Market has a building inside it that was the city hall. So they kind of built the building around it. So it's kind of cool. And it's a gallery now, and you can go see the old council rooms and.
Well, I mean, we'll see this one side.
So these are nicely preserved.
Can I call them, or is she kind of? I don't want to bother her.
I am almost at my destination. However, we will go take a good look at St. Lawrence Market. I can smell all their delicious food and everything from now. I think it closes soon. This is the new North Market. We used to have the antique market, and I thought they were building it for the Sunday antique market, but the owners whoever's building it doesn't want this ratty little antique market, so they're way out of the city now. Anyway, so this was City Hall. That square part that you see, it says St. Lawrence Market, that was basically just the building. That was it, and the rest of it is inside. I could risk my life. Thank you. Let's see if it's still open, so you can get the idea of what I'm talking about. Oh, it is still open. Old North Market. This is the market. You get all your meat and cheese. I'll do a separate walk in here. Anyway, this is the building. It's like this. So they kind of enclosed it. The original city hall with the market, with all of this. Yeah, if you like meat, this is the place for you. Actually, if you like any kind of food, this is the place for you. If you like cheese, also the place for you. Maple syrup. I had a friend visit from Italy and we told her that this came from trees and she didn't believe us. And this is the best kitchen supply store. They have all the things you never knew that you desperately needed. Whenever I need something for the kitchen, some gadget or whatever, I just come here. Can I take a picture of your thing? What is that?
What was pavlova?
Oh, it's like a meringue with the whipped cream on the top. Ah, thank you. Okay, this is a bonus off route.
I don't know.
I'm hungry now. This is a bad idea. Oh, Turkish delight. Oh my god. Home of the oink. Here, nice. Here's where you can get your pastries, your ham sandwiches, Portuguese things, souvenirs, cookies, drinks. Oh, I'm thirsty too. Fruit, plants. You name it, they got it. Here's a picture of how it looked before it was enclosed with the rest of the market. So they took off the peak in the tower, but they kept the rest. Well, yeah, Morrissey wouldn't like all the meat. But there is vegetarian fare. There's an awesome Japanese crepe place downstairs. It is my restaurant of choice. Okay, now I have to get back across Front Welling. Is this Front or Welling? No, I think it's Front Street now. It is, but it's called the Front Street Market.
Tourist.
Okay, once I get safely across. And this is Jarvis, and it turns into Lower Jarvis if you want to look it up. Okay, am I safe? Are we ever safe? Let's get philosophical here. Alright, this is where I'm meeting my friend at the Image Cinemas. I'm looking for potential employment. Maybe it's chill. Well, thank you to everyone who is watching. Can you see me? You see me now? Thank you for joining me, George, and whoever else is watching. I really appreciate it. So this is me going to get a job, maybe. You can see my friend, possibly a movie. We're gonna see Fall Guy. It looks really good. Anyway, well, welcome to this little slice of Toronto. There will be more. Thank you for watching.